Hey, what's going on? Welcome back to video number 2 in the Freedom Goal Setting course. I'm outside right now. I think it's a much better setting for this video because we're going to dive deep into why do 99% of people fail at reaching their goals. This is something that I've been studying for the past few years of my life, ever since I got into entrepreneurship. I've always wondered what makes it that certain people are able to go from nothing all the way to massive heights. They are able to become millionaires. They're even able to become billionaires. In fact, 80% of millionaires nowadays are completely self-made, and I think the statistic applies to billionaires as well. And so what makes it that allows them to properly set massive goals and then go on to predictably achieve them? Right? And it's like, if you listen to interviews of these guys, I've been listening to a lot of billionaire interviews lately, just like listening to the voices, it's just like, you can tell that they've always known that they would be successful. You could tell that they had a clear sense of direction, and they knew exactly where they were going from day one. You see, most people want to get rich. They want to succeed. They want to live amazing lives. But the problem is that they're too comfortable where they are. And I encounter this every single day of my life. You know, I see so much potential in certain people, and it just blows my mind. It just blows my mind that, you know, you look at someone, you're like, they can be someone. You know, the person watching this video right now, you, right? If you're stuck in a bad situation right now, like, I'm looking at you and telling you can be someone. But the problem is the number one killer of your goals and of your dreams is comfort. You know, the 99%, most people, they set goals in the first week of 2020 and they're like, okay, let's go. I'm going to make 100 grand this year. I'm going to finally build my online business and I'm going to start making passive income. I'm going to ditch that 9-to-5 job that I've hated for years. I'm going to leave university. A lot of people, they absolutely hate college, right? Just like me. I dropped out of college, thank God. So the first week of January, everyone sets these goals. They set very ambitious goals. Second, third, fourth week of January, by the second month of the year, all the goals are gone. Why? Because of comfort. And so in this video, I'm going to talk about how to destroy that comfort, how to really just force yourself to achieve those goals. Because, you know, the worst part about it is that in a year, if you set goals right now, and I bet you've already set goals, you've probably watched my other goal setting videos on my channel, which is amazing. You know, if you actually took action, you're already a part of the 1% of the people who actually do something. The worst part about not achieving your goals and not actually doing what you set out to do is in 1 year, you come back and, you know, you're living your life, but you have no idea where you would have been if you actually stuck to your goal. That's the worst part. And that leaves you every single day in a year feeling as if, like, you know, you should be living this better life. You should be, you know, living at a much higher standard. However, because of your lack of discipline, because of your lack of knowing what you want, 99% of people, you go outside and you ask them, hey, what do you want out of life? They have absolutely no idea. I personally, through this video and through the Freedom Goal Setting series, I'm trying to break that statistic that, like, only 1% of people can actually succeed. Only 1% of people can achieve their goals. And I'm doing that by giving you the advice that has worked tremendously well for me. Advice that has completely changed my life, that has allowed me to just completely, like, create a life of my own design. Like, really set it up where I want to live. That's where I'm living. You know, do what I want to do for a living. Make multiple millions of dollars per year while, most of all, while helping people. Also, being able to really plan out my future and understand what kind of businesses do I want to be involved in, and giving me the freedom to plan out my life exactly how I want to do it. That is literally the key. That is what you should be aiming for. I'm not the one to really tell you what you should be aiming for, but I think, you know, it's part of freedom, right? And so it's a result of me setting that goal at the very beginning and sticking to it, using all the tools that I discussed in the last video in the Freedom Goal Setting course. If you haven't watched it, I highly suggest you check that out. It's incredibly helpful. It's literally life-changing. It's just the worst thing in the world to me when I talk to someone and, you know, let's say they told me a goal that they set. So this happens all the time, especially with a lot of people that I coach. And it sucks for me to see because people that I coach, you know, they tell me, I remember when they were, like, so excited about starting a new business. This is, by the way, most people are like this. You know, you're watching these videos. A lot of people, they find out about my YouTube channel, and so they get so excited about the fact that they can finally take control of their lives. They can finally build a successful online business. And so, you know, they might watch some videos. They might watch some other YouTubers' videos. They're going to research about online business. You know, they get excited. They start telling all their friends. They start telling their family, right? Maybe some of them are unsupportive, but that's a different topic. But the worst part is seeing them 1 month later, 1 year later, still stuck in the same life that they were in before. And they tell me, yeah, Dan, you know, I was watching your YouTube videos. I took your course. I got into Ecom Freedom. You know, it was amazing. But then, you know, for whatever reason, they're still stuck in their same job. And so it makes me wonder, like, how come for me it happened so quickly? And how come for other people it's so difficult. And so literally the answer is comfort, breaking that comfort, breaking free. I'm not superhuman. I'm literally the same person as you. I may have different strengths. I may have different beliefs, maybe, maybe I think we're on the same wavelength here, but, different hobbies, whatever it is, right? The thing is though, is that all I decided what I wanted, right? So I said freedom is what I want. And what is the best way for me to achieve freedom? Online business. Okay, so let's learn how to build an online business, all right? And then I started, doing research. I started going online and checking out all these people. At the time, I remember there's only Ty Lopez, Grant Cardone just started getting popular at the time. I'm sure you're familiar, some of the biggest in the space. And so I basically told myself I'm gonna figure this thing out. It might take me a few failures, it might take me some time, but I'm gonna figure this thing out. And the key really was that I just felt it inside. I just knew that something big was coming. So, if you can feel that way, if you can really feel as if, that's it, it's inevitable. It's inevitable. Your life will change and you know exactly where you're going. It's not by chance, it's not by surprise that it's going to happen. You will see that amazing things will start to happen. Since so many people struggle with actually achieving their goals, and I think that's kind of just how humans are, no matter how many videos I make, no matter, even if it's the best advice in the world, for some reason, it's still that statistic of, only the 1% can rise and become the 1%, right? So that's why I'm going to cover some of the biggest mistakes that you might be making in setting goals. And these mistakes, you are probably actually making them because I made them myself when I was first starting out in entrepreneurship. And, especially in that period when I was making, 1K, 2K a month at my job at the time. And I was aiming to make I was aiming to make 10K a month, my first 10K a month. That was like golden money to me at the time. It was like 10K a month. And I think I was 21 or something like that at the time. So it was crazy, and that just shows that anybody can do it, even today. And it's actually easier today because there's more information out there and you're watching these videos that I'm making. So mistake number one, the goal isn't clear enough. This is the biggest mistake that people make. I can tell you, when I first started my online business, and at the time I wasn't even doing the business that allowed me to reach success, the goal that I set for myself, and I learned this from a few books that I read, The Secret being one of them, Think and Grow Rich, they all said be specific with your goal. So I set a goal of, I'm so happy now that I'm making $10,000 per month by June, I think the year was 2017, June 2017. So right from the very beginning, I set that goal of $10,000 per month in my online business by June 2017. And when I set that goal, it was actually March 2017. So if you're watching today, make a specific goal, specifically tell yourself, whether you're writing down that goal, you should be writing down your goals every single morning, every single night. I covered this in my other videos, especially the first video of the Freedom Goal Setting course. So, write that goal down and make it very specific. If you're starting today, I think $10,000 a month is an amazing income. I think that $10,000 a month in passive income, most people would be very, very happy with that. And then there are those who obviously want to push the limit, like me at the time. I wanted to push the limit, and even now, obviously, I'm just that kind of person. I guess it's like a personality. I think that's what you call it. But most people, they would be very happy with $10,000 a month. $10,000 a month in passive income. I even knew at the time that, okay, I searched up how much do CEOs make in America? About $400,000 per year. The president, I think at the time it was Barack Obama. I searched up how much does the president make? And his salary was $400,000 per year. And so, I knew that even if you're a CEO and you made $1 million per year in a salary, from your job, I knew that $10,000 per month in passive income, which is $120K per year, is so much more because it's passive. You don't have to go in and trade your time for money. You don't have to basically enslave yourself in exchange for hours, right? It's passive, not active income. And so I knew that if I could just, hit that milestone, hit that 10K per month, I could be living such a much better life. I could be traveling the world. I wouldn't need my 9-to-5 job anymore because at the time, my 9-to-5, I was making like 2 to 3K US per month, about 40K per year in Canada and Canadian dollars, which is very weak at the moment. And at the time too. So I started really going after that goal. And after a few failures and obstacles, it wasn't even that much, right? I never thought that okay, these obstacles are, debilitating. I never thought that these obstacles are going to kill me. Maybe it's because I don't have any kids. I didn't have any kids, and it's not like I had a family to care for or anything like that. I really started at a good time because I was 21 years old. It's not an excuse though. A lot of people, they tell me, I'm 45, can I still do it? I have kids. Of course you can. Of course you can. And not just online business, but entrepreneurship in general. It's never too late to start living the life of your dreams and a life of your own design, a life that is true to yourself. So, yeah, like 2 months later, 3 months later, I actually hit that goal, and I hit 3 times that goal. So I was making, I think, like 32K in revenue per month. And so that was like my beginning story. And when I hit that, I realized, whoa, 30K per month in sales, that's in sales, it's not all that much. It's not all that much money. One thing about goal setting as well is that you want to be optimistic but realistic. But at the same time, if you undercut your own potential, so let's say you set a goal of like, I'm so happy now that I'm making like 2K per month, in 3 months or in 6 months, it's a good start, but really you could be doing more as well. I feel like you're the only person who knows what your capabilities are, and you're the only person who, really, it's all about your confidence. I mean, who can judge how much, what kind of goals you should set? Only you know that deep in your heart. So the first mistake is not making your goals clear enough. So make sure that the goal is clear enough. Most people, they're just like, yep, this year I'm going to get fit. Now in the next 3 months, I'm going to become, or in the next 3 years, I'm going to become financially free. But financial freedom, what does it even mean? Financial freedom means when you have more than enough money to live the lifestyle of your choosing, you don't have any debt, or at least you're able to pay off your debt consistently without any problems over a period of time. And that's not that hard to get to. I mean, if you've dug a hole for yourself, of course, if you have a mortgage and all that kind of stuff, it's a little bit more challenging, but there are no problems in this world today that are really that terrible. Humans have gone through a lot worse things than, being able to, let's say, pay off your 10K in debt or 50K in debt or whatever it is. I had 40K in college debt, and I always knew, I remember like you people used to tell me, you should start paying that off, slowly. I'm like, nope, I'm going to make a lot of money, and then I'm going to pay it off. I'm going to pay it off in one payment. I'm going to refuse to accept that level of mediocrity that society is trying to impose on me, that, oh yeah, I have to be another one of those student loan payers for life. Those people, I'm sure people who work so hard to graduate school, and they end up with a student loan that they have to pay even when they're 70 years old. What the hell's the point of that, right? Their kids have to pay it. It's crazy what's going on nowadays. It's insane. So make your goal clear. And that's the first step to actually making sure that you achieve it. I know a lot of people, they're skipping over these videos. A lot of people, unfortunately, they don't understand, they don't see the link, like how important mindset is to really becoming the person that you want to be. They don't understand, they don't see how it relates. A lot of people, and unfortunately, we're wired that way in this modern day and age, where, we just want the fast Lamborghini. We just want like the shortcut. We just want, we just want everything now, quickly, fast, without any work. And obviously that's where humans fail. If you can set a goal, be clear about it, and work at it for a period of time, knowing that it will take work, it will take hard work, definitely not harder work than working a 9 to 5 for 40 years, and realizing that you've basically done nothing that you wanted in your life. And when you're on your deathbed, right, it doesn't take that much work. In society today, standards are very low. Standards are not all that high. And so if you can just do a little bit more than other people, you will be successful no matter what. So now mistake number 2. Setting goals that are too small. So how do you know what is that realistic kind of range of a goal that you can possibly achieve in a certain period of time? And I can tell you the best way, and I just explained it actually, was, you have to be optimistic but realistic. I can tell you the craziest goal that I set so far in my life and that I've actually accomplished. And I'm not going to talk about goals that I haven't accomplished yet because I am still on that journey. I'm still on that experience of my life. But if I go back, when I had no money in my bank account, and as I had that college debt I talked about, 40K, I set a goal for myself of making $2 million per year, or actually it was $2 million in a year and a half. So it's $2 million by the end of 2018. And when I set that goal, I only set that because The Secret told me to set that goal, that book that I talked about, like the Law of Attraction book. Here we have the pool coming again. But basically, when I set that goal, I was just scared shitless. I was like, I have no idea how I'm going to get this, but I knew that eventually I would. Even if it wasn't by the end of 2018, I knew that I would, and I knew that it was in my destiny to really go after that goal. And I did. I actually accomplished that goal at the end of 2018. I reached that level. I think it was above 2 million. So it was above $2 million US, and it was before the end of a year and a half. And that was, my journey and all that came along with that. I was able to build this massive online course platform, which I'm super happy about, which is a long way to go. I really, really am pushing to create the best place on earth for people to go and learn how to become successful and how to, start an online business. It's really what I'm passionate about. So I'm super excited. I'm super happy for that. But really, don't set your goal too small. If I set a goal that I didn't get scared about, that would have been probably like 100K by a year and a half. Because 100K, that's amazing, right? But you can never compare yourself to average people, because if you compare yourself to average people and, these average statistics, you will live a life that's average. You will live a life that's mediocre. forever. Now, at the same time, this brings us to mistake number 3, which is setting a goal that is too large. So if I set a goal that was, I'm so happy now that I'm so happy now that I've made $10 million in a year and a half. I think at the time when I had no idea how to do anything, nothing in online business, nothing about e-commerce, that obviously would have been totally unrealistic. And I just felt that it was like totally out of control. Like that is just unrealistic. It's like the same as setting a goal saying, oh yeah, I'm going to be a billionaire next week. It's just not going to happen. It's physically impossible unless you have already built up something for the past few years and you're about to like sell your $1 billion company. You've got a large stake in it, right? So obviously not most people. So don't set your goal too unrealistically large. Make sure that it's optimistic and it's very high, but something that a little bit. You have this feeling a little bit inside you that, yeah, there is a chance that I can do this. If there's a chance that you can do this, then do it. So really the goal has to be in that perfect range of too large and too small, so somewhere in the middle there. And obviously the best part of life is that it doesn't end when you reach the goal, right? If you reach the goal, even if it's earlier than later, that's amazing. You're just going to move on to a bigger role. It's just how we are, Even if you make $10 million tomorrow, you're going to want $100 million eventually, right? I mean, some people, yeah, like it's important to know your limit. Obviously, really, it's not in everybody's destiny to, let's say, make a lot of money at all. Money is not the most important thing in life. You need money to be able to travel and be able to provide for yourself and your family and put food on the table and things like that, and have a level of freedom. I believe every single person should have a level of freedom where they're able to, they're walking through the airport and they're able to buy whatever they want as food without looking at the prices, because we all know, when you're at the airport, everything is super overpriced, and if your income isn't high enough, and if you're like most people, then most people will, they'll think twice before buying that sandwich at the airport. Or they'll think twice before, buying like an $8 coffee at the airport, right? Or like a 10 euro latte or something like that if you're in Europe. For example, things like food, prices at the grocery store, at the food store. You should not be looking at the prices there, Like if you want to buy something, just buy it. Life is too short to think twice about how much an apple costs or how much, like organic or non-organic should I buy, this apple or this cheaper apple or, this meat or this cheaper meat, right? You're like, if you were on your purpose, if you were focused on increasing your income and you were doing that through a business that you really felt like it was, leading you to greatness, and you felt like you were helping other people through it, through either a product or a service, you would not have even the time to reflect on how much this, should I buy this organic piece of meat or should I buy this non-organic cheaper meat, right? So now that brings us to mistake number 4, and that is your goal has no deadline. So most people, they just say, this year I'm going to be successful. So it's super vague. There is no set goal. Like you haven't set an income level. And also you haven't set a deadline. So you have to set a deadline. And again, the deadline has to be the same. It can't be too quick and it can't be too far away. So if you set a goal of, I'm so happy now that I have a 6-figure business, or let's just make it simple. I'm so happy now that I'm making $10,000 per month. I would say 6 months to a year is a great goal kind of timeline range for that, depending on how you judge your own ability. I personally believe that if you have the drive and if you have the belief in yourself, and this is not the first video of mine you've maybe watched about online business, about goal setting, and you've been kind of passionate about this topic for a while, you've been thinking about it, then I know from the bottom of my heart that, anybody in that category can reach an income of $10,000 per month in 1 year, 2 years. I mean, if you've been doing online business, you've been really practicing and researching and, really putting in the time every single day, every single week, then how can you not be successful after a few years? How can you not? And this applies to anything in life, anything that you actually set out to do to, learn it and study it. Of course, as humans, we always have self-doubt that comes in and it haunts us. You really just have to be fearless. You really just have to go, after your goals, knowing that first of all, people have died in wars. And second of all, life is too short to not achieve your goals. Life is too short to not, make $10,000 per month in income and to not have a successful business that is most of all, and this brings us to mistake number 5, that is most of all aligned with your personal destiny. Most people, they set goals that are not aligned with their personal destinies. Your goal has to be based on your vision, that vision that you set for yourself, that 2-year vision, who you are 2 years from now. And that vision, a lot of people make the mistake, and I even think that you might have made this mistake. If you followed the first video, maybe check your vision, make sure that you haven't made this mistake. It really, really kills people's success and people's happiness. It's the worst thing of all. a lot of people, they're kind of more externally motivated, and they set externally motivated goals instead of internally motivated goals. So, for example, a lot of people, they strive to get that like Lamborghini just so they can go drive around and they think they can pick up girls or impress people. The truth is, no one really cares about the fact they have a Lamborghini. Like, yeah, it's a nice car. At the end, you'll see if the goal that you're chasing isn't aligned with your personal destiny and you really don't feel it. Like, let's say, you never really felt like, okay, I need to have a Lamborghini, or, your heart you never really had like an attachment from your heart when you see a Lamborghini, then obviously don't go after that. Just to impress other people, it's not going to work out. For example, for me, whenever I looked at pictures of Arizona, where I am right now, this is just the house that I'm staying temporarily at while I'm moving into my apartment. Whenever I looked at pictures of Arizona, like the beautiful desert landscape, the mountains, everything, I just felt like an emotional connection with it, even though I've never been there before. And so when I packed my bags and I drove across America, out of my parents' house, and I got to Arizona, it just felt right. And I knew, I woke up in the morning, it was like 80, 85 degrees Fahrenheit, like 25 degrees Celsius. It was amazing, fantastic weather, palm trees, everything. And I knew that I finally accomplished one of the biggest goals in my life, which was to be able to start a successful business and move my location to my dream place, like a warm place that I could really, spend amazing time in and not be affected by the winter blues. And so that's just an example. I always felt amazing when I looked at pictures of Arizona. So, you might have that with a supercar. You might have that with a particular house. You might have that with, pictures of Bora Bora or some beautiful tropical place with turquoise water. If that's how you feel, that means that the goal is right. That means that the goal is internally motivated, and it is a goal that is aligned with your own personal destiny. A lot of people, and I've had this happen to me a lot, they've seen what I've been able to accomplish, and other people, this happens to everybody who's, achieved a certain level of success. And so a lot of people, what they do is, I've noticed a lot of people like directly copy my videos, directly try to copy every single step that I've done for the past 2 years. And the truth is, they epically fail. Like it's so funny that it ends up making me look better. And they do this a lot on YouTube. Most people, like, they try to copy my videos, they try to copy my video ideas, all that kind of stuff. Even though for me, I made these videos from my heart, and these people they watch my videos and they say word for word what I say, and you can tell it's like robotic. Why? Why doesn't it work out for them? Because the goals are not aligned with their personal destiny, and that's not what they should be doing. So remember that when you set the goals, always ask yourself, do I really want this? Is this really coming from what I truly want in my life? Ask yourself, in a world, if nobody would be here except your family and the people you love most, would I still go after this goal? And those are the goals that you should set for yourself. Every person owes himself or herself the duty of learning how to live a happy and fulfilling life. And that is the key. That is the goal right there. If you can learn what makes you happy and fulfilled, like for me, for example, the goals that I've been setting for myself lately and where I see my life heading, it's definitely in business, and business is going to be the prime motivator. But for example, like I want, one of my goals is to have a house with a runway there, out somewhere in like beautiful nature. I've seen a guy on YouTube have this. I think his name is Trent Palmer. It's like really awesome. But, the guy just has a house out there with like a runway. Literally, he can land his plane there. It's like 360-degree mountain views. And I think he has it in Nevada somewhere, like on the border with California near Lake Tahoe. But like, it's insane. I mean, he built the house. It was like a kit house for like $200K. And anyway, I'm talking about this because obviously you can see that I'm so passionate about that. And so, if you feel that way about something, that is a goal you should chase after. And definitely an online business, is going to allow you to pursue that and allow you the freedom to really reach that. Because obviously, if I want that, I need money to get there, obviously, right? So remember that when you're setting goals, make sure that they're internally motivated and they're goals that you really, really want in your life. Subscribe to the channel and subscribe to make sure that you keep on going through this series. If you just watch, certain videos from this course, that's at least something. But I really hope that this is opening your mind and widening your perspective and allowing you to see life in a different way, in a better way. Leave me a comment down below. Tell me what your number one biggest goal is, and make sure that it's an internally motivated goal. All right, tell me your number one internally motivated goal, and I'll respond. I'll respond to every single comment as much as I can. Thank you for watching. Be great. Widen your perspective. Make sure that you're going after the things that you truly want in life, and be careful and be correct in setting those goals. Make sure that they're correct, because, there's a saying, be careful what you set your eyes upon, because you'll surely get it. So, hope you enjoyed this one. I'll see you soon.